Welcome all of you to the online class of biology once again. So we were studying biotechnology principles and processes, chapter 11. And in this we have already studied the various the tools that we need to do the process of biotechnology. Like we have studied about cloning vectors, gel electrophoresis, isn't it? We have studied about restriction endonucleases, etc. And today we are going to study one more thing, that is the process, okay, by which the biotechnology is done. What all we have to do, okay, we have studied about the tools that we need to do the process of biotechnology, and now we are going to study how it has to be done, what steps are there to follow, okay, to do the process of biotechnology. Okay, so let's study. As we know, DNA is situated inside where? Inside the nucleus, isn't it? In the chromosomes, you can see the DNA. So, it is protected by many membranes, isn't it? Like plasma membrane is there, nuclear membrane is there. So, all this membrane has to be removed. Okay, then other compounds like proteins will be there, RNAs will be there. Okay, so all this has to be removed. So this is done with the help of isolation of DNA. Okay, so DNA should be isolated, then it should be fragmented, that we have already studied, by restriction endonucleases, isn't it? Then isolation of a desired DNA fragment among this DNA. If a long DNA is cut using restriction endonuclease, we have to identify or isolate the desired DNA what we are requiring, isn't it? Then that required or desired DNA fragment should be ligated, should be joined to the vector, isn't it, into a vector. Then this recombinant DNA, that is vector with the gene of our interest, that should be inserted into the host, isn't it? And we have studied that there are vector methods. Okay, vector method, if it is there, then we have to ligate into the vector, and then that vector should be transferred to the host. If not, what direct methods are also there, we have studied, isn't it? Micro injection, and then what bialistic method, etc. are there. So by that method also we can introduce the DNA, recombinant DNA into the host. Okay, then next step is what? Culturing the host cells in a medium at large scales, isn't it? And then we have to extract the desired product. Understood? So these are what you have to learn this point wise. Okay, so these are the main steps that has to be done, okay, in the process of DNA, in the process of biotechnology. First is what? Isolation of DNA. Okay, then that should be cut, then using what? Restriction endonuclease. Then we have to identify the desired DNA fragment, then it should be ligated to a vector, then this vector with the desired gene should be entered into the or it should be inserted into the host, then this host should be cultured, okay, at large scale for the extraction of the desired product. So these are the basic steps in the process of what? DNA, in the process of biotechnology. Okay, then so the first method is what? Isolation of the genetic material. Okay, so for the isolation of the genetic material, what we have to do, see, the DNA is present where? Inside the nucleus, isn't it? So so many compounds we can use to remove this DNA or to isolate the DNA. For example, you can see lysozymes. Okay, if we have to isolate the DNA from a bacterial cell, we have to use what? Lysozyme. Okay, then if it is from plant cells, if the DNA has to be isolated from the plant cells, then we have to use what? Cellulase. Then if it is from fungus, we have to use what? Chitinase. Okay, so we know this structures, okay, all this what members. their cell wall is having some specific compounds like chitin, cellulose. Okay, then what in bacteria also their cell wall is different. So this kind of materials are used to what isolate the DNA from this kind of materials. Then in addition to this, so these all will help to remove the cell wall, isn't it, cell wall. And after that, then DNA is also found along with proteins like what histones, isn't it, in the chromosomes. Then RNA molecules will be there, isn't it, proteins will be there. So for this all different enzymes has to be used. For example, RNA can be removed by any extra RNA, if it is there, it can be removed by ribonucleases. Okay, and if protein has to be removed, then proteases are there. Understood? So likewise, various appropriate chemicals or enzymes are used to isolate all or remove all this materials from the DNA. And then if we are adding chilled ethanol, okay, chilled ethanol if we are using, then DNA will get isolated and will be seen as what, fine threads in the suspension. So this experiment we are having in our syllabus. Okay, so if we do like this, if we do the experiment for isolation of DNA, we can see the DNA will be, it can be spooled like this. Okay, we can see like this, DNA can be isolated. So for the isolation of DNA, all these methods are there. Then after that, the isolated DNA, okay, that should be cut with the restriction endonucleases. So we have studied that. What is the speciality of restriction endonucleases? What is that? They cut the DNA at specific sequences known as palindromic sequences, and they produce what, sticky ends. Okay, so for that specific what enzymes are there, and they are working at optimum conditions. After that, what we have to do? Using agarose gel electrophoresis, we can find out the gene of our interest. Okay, as DNA is negatively charged molecules, they will move toward that. We have already studied, isn't it? They move to the positive electrode, and with the means from the size, we can isolate the gene of our interest. The DNA fragments with long size, they will move slow, and the ones with low molecular weight or low small size, they will move fast. Understood? So likewise we can identify. Then next is what, the DNA which is having the DNA fragment which is having our gene of interest, that should be taken out by elution. Do you remember? And after that, this should be ligated, isn't it? This should be joined with the the vector. So vector also should be cut with the same type of restriction endonuclease, so that their sticky ends of the vector and the gene, the DNA fragment which is having the gene of our interest also will be combined. Okay, so for this, what we have to add along with the DNA of or gene of our interest, okay, and the cut vector, along with that we have to add what, ligase. Do you remember what is ligase? Ligase will help in joining the cut ends of the DNA. Okay, so this will help in the process of formation of a recombined DNA. So if you follow all the steps, okay, first you have to find which gene is to be, okay, added to a new genome. So that gene should be removed. So for that, what, isolation of the DNA should be done. Okay, depending upon the source of the DNA, different chemicals or enzymes has to be used for that purpose. And after that, what we have to do, we have to cut the DNA and also the vector. Okay, and then what we have to do, we have to different materials like proteases, lipases, okay, RNases, etc. will be used appropriately for removing any impurities. Impurities means what, proteins, RNA, all that. Okay, after that, what we have to do, cut the DNA using restriction endonucleases. Okay, first is what, isolating that from the cell. Okay, it should be, the DNA will be in a cell. So from the cell it has to be isolated, it should be taken out, and for that purpose we are using various enzymes, and it should be purified. Okay, and then with the use of chilled ethanol it can be precipitated, and then we are using what? Restriction endonucleases to cut them. Understood? Then what we have to do is using what? Gel electrophoresis. Okay, we separate the DNA fragments and our gene of interest we will ligate, okay, to the vector. After cutting the vector also, vector DNA also should be cut, and then we will be adding what? Ligase also. So what will happen? They will combine. Understood? So in this way recombinant DNA will be formed. Is it clear? So now you would have understood this process is not so easy. Okay, so once a gene is cut, or it is removed from the host cell, and if it is identified, then we can make multiple copies of the same gene using a new technique known as what? PCR. Okay, so PCR is what? Polymerase chain reaction. Okay, so polymerase chain reaction is used to make multiple copies of the gene. Okay, the gene of interest which you have isolated from the source, okay, or from the plant or animal, or from the fungal cell, from wherever it is. First you isolated, then you cut, okay, purified, then you cut. So that fragment we can get a number of copies of the same gene using what? Polymerase chain reaction. Otherwise you have to repeat. If you get one gene, okay, and if you want to do the experiment again, you have to do all the processes again, so it is a tedious process. So for that purpose there is a new technique, okay, that is known as polymerase chain reaction. So what for it is used? It is also a technique only, okay, it is not the process. It is a process, of course, but more than that, it is a technique to multiply what? The gene of our interest to any number. Okay, number of copies of the same gene you will get. Okay, so that you can do the experiment again. Understood? Otherwise you have to repeat from the beginning. What? From the treating of the cell with cellulase, pectinase. So all this has to be done. Otherwise if you are doing directly polymerase chain reaction, you will get a number of copies can be produced. So for this purposes you need two sets of primers. So what are primers? Actually DNA replication, when you study in higher classes, you can study that DNA polymerase can add nucleotides only to a RNA primer. Primer is, have you heard about primer which is used in the walls and all? Okay, so that the wall which is made up of cement, isn't it? And the paint. Okay, in between the paint and the wall, this primers acts as a a link, or which can join this two very good. Okay, so in that sense, just I said one example to make you understand. So primers are what? RNA molecules. Okay, RNA molecules to which only DNA polymerase can add what? Nucleotide. Actually it we have to study, means in the higher classes you will study this along with the DNA replication. Understood? So primers are very necessary for what? For the DNA polymerase to work. DNA polymerase cannot add what? The nucleotide sequences simply to the template strand. Okay, it can add only to a primer. So this primer will be complementary to the sequences of nucleotide sequences in the DNA. So for polymerase chain reaction we need what? Primers, and also what we need? The enzyme DNA polymerase. Okay, the enzymes extends the primers, okay, what? Using the nucleotides provided in the reaction. Means we have to provide nucleotide sequences. So according to the complementarity, the DNA polymerase, do you remember what? What is DNA polymerase? It is the enzyme which is helping in the polymerization of DNA, isn't it? Means nucleotides are added to form DNA by DNA polymerase. Understood? But this DNA polymerase can add nucleotides only to a primer. Understood? So this primer is necessary. Actually, even in replication, DNA replication, there we have not studied in this standard, but in higher classes you will study. Okay. So then, you can see that this DNA polymerases, if provided two primers, okay, which are complementary to the strands. Two strands are there now in DNA. So to that primers, the DNA polymerase keep on adding the nucleotides according to the complementarity. Okay, and you can see that this will be a very fast process, and it can a single gene can be repeated or it can be multiplied around billion times. Means 1 billion copies can be made from a single gene. Understood? So this reaction can take place in high temperature, and this I will explain the steps of PCR. Just you listen this now. That is, this step will be conducted in high temperature, and so we have studied that many of the enzymes will get denatured, isn't it, in high temperature. So how is it possible then any enzymes can work in this condition? So this is done by a special kind of enzyme that is obtained, okay, from a bacterium known as Thermus aquaticus. Okay, actually this Thermus aquaticus, you learned this term very nicely, okay, this name very nicely, because it can be asked. So Thermus aquaticus is a bacterium which is found in where? Found in the means in hot springs. Understood? Means which are adapted to live in high temperature. Okay, this bacteria are allowed to or adapted to live under high temperature, and they will not do any they will not undergo any denaturation. The enzyme, that is the one enzyme will be extracted from this, okay, Thermus aquaticus, and this enzyme, okay, that is known as Taq polymerase. What it is? Taq polymerase. Taq polymerase. Okay, Thermus aquaticus. From that only Taq, T-A-Q, Taq polymerase. Okay, so this Taq polymerase can withstand high temperature. Why? Because it is obtained from a bacterium known as Thermus aquaticus. Okay, and this enzyme is used for what? Is used for used for this purpose. Okay, that is used for PCR. Understood? So let me explain the steps by which it is done. Okay, so the first step is denaturation, and denaturation needs what? High temperature. Understood? So if you you have studied that when we give high temperature, the DNA strands, they are joined by H bonds, isn't it? So this H bonds will separate, or they will get broke, and they'll be separated. The two strands will be separated. So that process is known as what? Denaturation. What is it? Denaturation. After that, what? The second step. So this is the first step of what? PCR technique. PCR is what? Polymerase chain reaction. Okay, and the second step is what? Annealing. Okay, annealing. So in this step, the primers are annealed, okay, towards this end. Understood? Towards the 3' end of both the strands. Two strands will be there now in DNA. So to both of them, the strands will be the primers will be annealed. Okay, then next is what? Next we are adding the Taq polymerase. Taq polymerase is special. Why? Because they will not get denatured at high temperature, because DNA denaturation is necessary in this technique. Understood? But Taq polymerase will not get what? Denatured, as it is obtained from a bacterium known as what? Thermus aquaticus. Understood now? Taq polymerase is what? It's a DNA polymerase itself. Okay, DNA polymerase, and we will add also what? The deoxynucleotides. Okay, deoxynucleotides and DNA polymerase. Which DNA polymerase we are adding? Taq polymerase. Understood? Now what will happen to this primer? Okay, where is the primer? Here, isn't it? This is the primer. This is the primer here, and this is another primer. To the next is 2 strands. So to this what direction? What will happen? The DNA polymerase will add the to this direction. The DNA polymerase will add the nucleotides. Which DNA polymerase it is? Taq polymerase. Why? Because high temperature is needed for this process, and for this a special type of what is used? Polymerase is used. Is it clear? So in this way, what will happen? You can see that a number of, from this one strand of DNA, now you see 2 strands are formed, isn't it? From this one strand of DNA, you can see this is one strand, and from this one strand 2 strands will be formed. Where? Here, 2 strands. Have you seen? And each of this again will be undergoing the same process, means denaturation. Second step is annealing, then next is the polymerization. So this step will be continued, okay, or extension. Understood? So these are the 3 steps, and this diagram is also very important. You please make the diagram in your copy. Okay, denaturation, annealing and extension. So that what if this much DNA is containing our gene of interest, okay, you will get a number of copies of the same gene, okay, if after undergoing many cycles. Understood? Each cycle is having 3 steps. What are they? First is the denaturation, primer annealing, extension of primers. Understood? So what for PCR is used? For amplifying, that is the correct word, amplifying the gene of our interest. Understood? And for this we need what all? We need what? Primers we need, DNA polymerase we need, nucleotides we need, isn't it? High temperature. Understood? Primers. All these are what the need of this. Understood? And next what? We have to introduce this gene. So this step is what? After after gel electrophoresis we will get our gene of interest now, then we are using this. Okay, then next step is what? We have to introduce this gene of our interest into the vector or directly to the host cells. Is it clear? So the rest thing we will study in the next class. So hope this much is very clear. This diagram also you have to copy to your your notebook, okay, and then you have to study this process very nicely. For 5 marks also it can be asked, or from here anywhere some questions are sure. So very carefully you study this.